Oh my God. That was incredibly terrible. I just finished watching the Marvel Disney Games Showcase. This was supposed to be an interesting presentation of the future of Disney and Marvel games, which is actually a pretty big scope considering that they own everything from Tron to Marvel to Star Wars to even random stuff like, I don't know, Pandora. I don't know. They own so much. And yet this presentation was a gigantic L. This sucked to watch, but I want to discuss it because there were a couple tiny teases inside the showcase that were surprisingly interesting. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, the biggest complaint I've seen from most people on the internet during the course of this presentation was that it was way too fast. In the universe where we're used to getting like 2-hour drug-out presentations from Jeff Keighley, having a 24-minute showcase that revealed 35 games in 20 minutes, it was way too fast. I mean, it was constantly just game after game after game. They announced stuff like the Gargoyles remaster, the classic Super Nintendo Genesis game. That's coming back the way they did it, like DuckTales style. That's cool. But they just gave us like a singular screenshot in the corner of the screen. They said they're doing multiple Avatar games. You know, Avatar, the freaking old Pandora, the weird blue people. Well, one of them is going to be the big action adventure game that Ubisoft is working on. The other one is apparently like Fortnite. You're going to airdrop onto Pandora and pick up guns and fight and kill players for like cosmetic microtransactions. I mean, it's bonkers. The worst part of this presentation was the fact that it was absolutely flooded with mobile games. Weird ripoffs of League of Legends with all the Disney villains. There's like stupid racing games. There's card games. There's just so much back-to-back garbage that, I mean, this stuff must be profitable, but it must be like marketed towards children because no rational adult is going to install this trash even for 25 seconds. But now let's go through some of the major announcements they did. The first one being extremely confusing. They opened up the showcase by showing Tron Identity. You know, Mike Bithell, he's done a bunch of like more interesting artsy games. Apparently, he is making a Tron game that looks to be like a point-and-click adventure or a dialogue-heavy RPG, where instead of, I don't know, driving around on Tron bikes or laser beaming people or doing the typical stuff you're used to seeing in Tron, I guess this is just going to be Tron-y conversations, which in my opinion is the most boring part. They followed this up with another look at Midnight Suns, Marvel Midnight Suns. Now, the original trailers for this sort of stoked curiosity from a lot of gamers because it looked so epic. Seeing, you know, Wolverine fighting next to Ghost Rider against a bunch of evil demons seems spectacular. Well, they said from the very start it's going to be a card game. They finally showed us the cards. Man, this game is such an utter disappointment. It is a tactical card game. So it means you're going to like move people into position and play like the punch card to hit one of these demons. It looks incredibly slow. Honestly, it kind of just looks like such a weird experimental project. Like, why would you take something like Marvel that has so much power and speed and effort already existing in it, so much hype built up? Why would you take it and make it one of the most slow, unpopular genres of video game? It truly blows the mind as to why they decided to do this and not like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4 or something like that. Next up, they showed off Aliens Dark Descent. Now, there was a ton of hate for this game. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people incredibly upset about this. Personally, I will go on record. I think this game looks fantastic, even though these freaking pictures of it are incredibly red and blurry looking. Essentially, it seems like it's going to be XCOM Aliens, where it's going to be a strategy RPG where you're actually going to have to try and tactically clear out different ships and derelict vessels and stuff that are infected with the xenomorphs. Now, even though I'm not really a person that enjoys XCOM very much, I am such a big fan of Aliens. I am incredibly curious to see what this turns out to be. If this ends up half decent, this could be a very, very, very interesting project. It sounds like it's coming out relatively soon, and I'm definitely on board for it. The next part of the live stream was utterly insufferable. Just kids racing games with Disney characters, seeing like Mickey Mouse cutting off Mike Wazowski on a highway. There was weird stuff like Dreamlight Valley. It seems like Animal Crossing meets Disney. Maybe something like The Sims, so you're able to wander around and hang out with Woody and dress up your character and hang out with Buzz Lightyear inside of this MMO-ish style of game. There's weird old style of like side-scrolling jumping platformers from Disney with old school Mickey Mouse and Goofy. Like a lot of this stuff, it's very boring. It's obviously aimed towards children, but one of the weird things I certainly saw online is people getting mad at the host. The guy who actually hosted this live stream is a dude who works for Kinda Funny named Blessing Jr. I always forget how to pronounce his last name. It's like Attaway. He seems like a decent guy. I mean, he's secure in the bag. Sure, the games look bad, but I feel like people are sort of blaming it on Blessing. He's just getting paid. The stream sucked. I don't have any animosity, no hate towards the host. He looks excited for this mobile game garbage, but, you know, he lives in a tiny apartment. Pay your bills, bud. Next up was definitely the most impressive surprise of the entire presentation, because there have been some leaks about this, but we finally saw it, which is a thing that's going to be a Black Panther crossover adventure with Captain America set during World War II. Now, initially, this trailer just seems like a tiny tease. We see a little bit of like Hydra stuff and some Nazi hats and stuff like that. But what's interesting is the leaks are that this is being created by Amy Hennig. The creator of Uncharted is making a crossover game where the previous Black Panther and Captain America are going to fight across the world, theoretically, inside of this universe, which seems so incredibly cool. Like, Amy Hennig is good. Uncharted is fantastic. She is the brainchild of that. The potential of this project, a lot of the leaks and stuff make it sound so incredibly good. So the fact that we finally saw the teaser trailer, this could be a really, really big deal. Overall, this presentation only being 25 minutes long, it was just so filled with, I mean, honestly, microtransactions is what it felt like. All these stupid, random crap, you know, mobile world. I don't know what it is about how, like, the higher the budget, the bigger the studio, the more they just try and push the stupidest, lowest tier garbage onto their fan base. But that's definitely what this is. The Avatar console game, I'm probably going to try just because I'm morbidly curious, even though I don't care about it. There was a tiny flash during the outro where we saw 1 extra second of Spider-Man 2 and 1 extra second of Wolverine. But those games, I mean, I guess that Sony probably wants to do an official reveal on their own. I don't care about the Star Wars stuff they showed. I just don't care about Star Wars. It was DLC for the frickin' Lego Star Wars game. Whoop-de-freaking-do. As it stands, this was a waste of time. I'm not mad at anybody for making it, but this could have been a tweet. This could have been an email. You did not need to hype up a live stream that was just going to be garbage. They knew this was garbage. They absolutely did this purposely to make sure that everybody looked at their crappy cell phone games. That's what this was. We basically all just watched a commercial for trash. But what do you think? Did you get a chance to watch it? Do you regret it? Do you wish you could vomit it out of your eyeballs? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all, and keep dreaming. Oh God, what happened? Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.